All right, guys. Probably not many people will remember that game as time goes on. I will remember that game just because of, wow, up against it, right? Maybe 1,000 people there or 2,000 people there. Fourth quarterback. And I mean, no disrespect to Trey Hall. I thought he played really hard and really did some good things. The 4 turnovers got us. Bobby Cole, Micah Gray, 6th and 7th running back. Bryson Carroll comes back from an ankle. I'll remember this one. The last one I coached at the last place I was at, I think there were 85,000 people in the stands, and we beat Purdue in West Lafayette, a game that was really canceled because of 9/11. We ended up playing it the last game of the year. That's a big rivalry, Purdue-Notre Dame, and I've remembered that one. Even though there were probably 500 people here at the end of this game, I'll remember this one. I don't think people understand just how difficult this has been week to week to get a football team ready to play. And just so much credit to our assistant coaches. I mean, just so much credit to our assistant coaches. I will remember this one and appreciate this one. I think that I'm going to keep this really short. Positivity, resilience, bounce back, those are depletable resources. Those are depletable resources. And that's why alignment and support are so important, because at some point you need rejuvenated along the way. And this has been a unique challenge. And it's time for the next guy. And I wish him well, whoever that is, and I wish these players well. But there needs to be alignment. There needs to be alignment because it is a depletable resource when you're the one doing it. So with that said, any questions about the game, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Coach, did that game just, like every week you would tell us how these guys did never quit? I mean, that game just kind of summed up what you were saying the whole time, right?
Absolutely. I mean, last week did too against Air Force. And so did the Boise State game at Boise. We got off to such a bad start. These kids will fight to the end. I think they follow the lead of these assistant coaches because they see how much these assistant coaches put into it down to the very wire, down to the very absolute. This game was kind of taken away in some ways by the announcement on Monday. You put yourself in those assistant coaches' shoes. You put yourself in the players' shoes. I told them all week, this isn't a bunch of substitute teachers here this week, where regardless of what happens, it's going to be okay. We have no excuses to not play well in this game and give ourselves a chance to win the game. But with that said, when something like that happens with a game left, that's great philosophical talk. That's great philosophical talk. When you got coaches over Thanksgiving, obviously with families involved, thinking about what's next. And I think they finished it the right way. And I think these players finished it the right way, Van. And like I said, man, it'll move on quickly here. Nobody will remember the Utah State, New Mexico game, the last game of the year. But I will. And I thank those coaches after the game in front of the players. And I thank just some of the guys for how they handled themselves and finished, because there wasn't a whole lot to play for, right? But I was proud of the way they competed.
You think you gonna keep coaching, or what?
Now's not the time. I think get Trey Hall up here. Visit with Trey Hall. He had over 100 yards rushing. He had over 100 yards passing in his first game. I don't know who else is coming up here, but, get around those guys. Man, there's been way too much attention this year on things other than those guys on that field, quite honestly, you know. So get around those guys. Those are the guys that really matter.
Coach, I'm curious, what do you think the state of the Lobo program is moving forward? What kind of condition are you leaving it in?
I think that's for you guys to decide and write about. And the next guy that inherits it, that's what he's going to be paid to do, is figure that out. But he can't do it by himself. He cannot do it by himself.
Did you do anything different today?
I'll tell you honestly, it hit me a little more than I thought. It did. It just seemed a little surreal to me. You know, it was a little bit. You know, I spoke to all the senior parents in here at noon, but you know, I got up this morning and worked out, and it seemed different than what I thought it would. You know, it was a little different. It was a little different. You know, so who knows what's in the future? But just go about these guys that played in the game and get with them. Okay.
Coach, how would you characterize your career here in the Lobos?
I think that's somebody else can figure that out and write about that. You know, I probably see it through a different lens because I know exactly what it's been. Somebody else can look through their lens and just judge it on one loss record or judge it on 2-10 this season. That's fine. Go ahead. You know, I'm pretty comfortable and confident through my lens that, you know, I'm walking out here with my head held high, and I gave it all I had, and I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for what I've done here. Okay? Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.